Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's quick video is going to be talking about this program right here, Manga Studio 5. The reason I'm doing this video is I noticed a few people were talking on Twitter, at me or just at Smith Micro, the company that makes this. Also on Facebook and on DeviantArt, some of you guys and girls have been asking me about Manga Studio 5. It just seems like since Friday, a lot of buzz has been happening about this. And I just kind of wanted to go over it real quick, some of the pros, some of the cons, some ideas I have for it, and just basically run you guys through it to see what you guys are missing or what you guys aren't missing. I'll tell you this right now: if you have Manga Studio EX4, don't get this. Wait until Manga Studio EX5 comes out, at least in my opinion. And the reason for that is if you're looking at this right here, this is, I guess this would be considered the debut version or just the basic version. This looks nothing like this. Let me open it up in the background here, Manga Studio EX4. Now, when I was first given the software, I thought it was, I was like, oh man, this would be great, free software and stuff, awesome stuff. And, it is an awesome program. But this is what I finally got accustomed to using. Not 100%, but, I kind of have an idea of what to do with this program when I have it open. The biggest thing about Manga Studio EX4 anyway, or just EX4, or just 4, sorry, not EX. So many abbreviations in this stuff. So Manga Studio Double Dragon Ball Z edition here. You can go right up here into like pages and stories, and I'm not going to run through it too much, but you can make comic books, right? So when I had Manga Studio 5 open, that's the first thing I look for. Where's the comic book stuff? Where's the stuff that says, okay, if I zoom out here, I don't know, like, oh, I don't even have anything open here. Okay, so we'll go File, New, we'll make a new canvas. It's probably gonna be pretty huge. So here it is, and I was looking real quick, and I'm looking over in the menus. Maybe I have like Windows turned off or something, like. And I apologize, I may not have found it just yet. But if you guys have found it, let me know. But essentially, there's nothing here to make comic books with, and I was turned off by that big time. And I tweeted, or tweeted, I think it's Smith Micro, the cats that make Manga Studio. And what I was informed, and I did some digging around as well, at least at the time of this recording, the EX version of Manga Studio 5 will have all those comics features. Okay? So if you're looking to make comics, I would say wait. I believe it's coming out around the summer of 2013. That's a long ways off. I don't think you're necessarily missing anything right now. But maybe your opinion might change as we go through this. But let me just zoom in here, just so we start drawing proper. Okay, so let's just run through this stuff. Let's have some fun here for a little bit. Hopefully this video is probably going to be about 20-30 minutes, so I apologize if it's way too long for you. But, okay, so what do we got up here? We got our magnifier tool, cool, move, or what is that? Operation. What's that? Operation. We'll figure that out. Move layers, lasso tool, we all know about that. Auto select, that's pretty cool. This kind of stuff here looks familiar with the lasso tool, with the pen and all that. Auto select, eyedropper. Now let's get into the stuff that we're all going to be using this for. From what I hear, the coloring is supposed to be pretty boss in Manga Studio X5, and we're going to give that a shot. So let's just quickly go through the pens real quick. So we got here a G pen. Edit, undo. I probably should have made some shortcuts here before we got into here, but let me just shrink this up here. I don't want to have a huge brush. So I've been using Manga Studio 4 for a while now. Getting pretty comfortable with the brushes. This all here kind of feels the same so far. Feels actually a little bit like Photoshop. I don't think there'd be so far with what I'm getting here. The stabilizing stuff, let's see what this is about. As you can see, it's, I don't want to say getting laggy, but as I rotate it real quick there, I think it's processing quite a bit. Let's turn the stabilizing down. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so it basically takes the jitter out of the brush. So that's what that's going to be. We got some anti-aliasing and stuff. But anyway, what do we got here? G pen, mapping pen. What's that? Okay. Turnip pen. That sounds kind of fun. It's a little bit of a thicker one. A calligraphy brush. This is pretty cool. For effect lines. I think they mean like, you can do some feathering. Let me just zoom out a little bit here. Some feathering or maybe some rendering. It's tapering the ends. That's pretty cool. Pretty sure we can get in here and change all that stuff. I'm going to assume. Texture pen. What the hell is that? So what I would always use in Manga Studio 4 is the Maru brush. And I'm not seeing it there at all. Maybe it's under something else. But let's check out these markers. Felt tip. I don't know. It kind of feels that's ridiculously huge. Let's get rid of large, big, huge there. What do we got there? Marker stuff. That feels like markers, I guess. So far, I'll be honest, it feels like Photoshop. There's not too much here that's really jumping out at me. Now, this is the part that I guess the G pen is what I would end up using in this. It's kind of got me bummed out here. Let's see. G pen. Just trying to click on some stuff here. All right, here we go. Now we're getting into some real good. Look at this stuff. Tilt velocity. Nice. The faster you draw and stuff. Random. I'm not a fan of random. Pen pressure. I want to see. It had like a taper thing. Now, a lot of that stuff might be in the EX version. So we'll wait and see. But for now, just keep moving on, having some fun. Now, anybody that's following me on Facebook, I posted some pictures on there this morning. I thought this was real cool. The brush setting in Manga Studio, at least in this one, it starts to look pretty damn close to a pencil. And to get this effect, I had to bring the size, if you look, pretty low. But if the higher you go, it starts to not look like a pencil. Like, to me, this still looks like a pen tool that we were using. But if you just shrink it up a bit, it starts to look like a pretty sharp pencil. But yeah, I thought this was real cool. What I'm excited to do once they start getting the comics part added to this is probably start using more of the pencil tool here, and maybe taking my sketches to a little bit further of a finished sketch before throwing the inks on there. In the next couple videos I have planned for you guys, there are a couple tutorial videos that I'm going to get through, because I know a lot of you guys have been asking me for tutorial videos, and I apologize for not getting them to you. But you know, being able to use a pencil tool too, like when you get in close, it still looks like Photoshop brushes. You know, it doesn't look anything too crazy, but you're able to get in here, and it does somewhat feel like a Photoshop brush still. And I apologize if I keep comparing it to Photoshop, but I think that's the default most of us have. But the more you zoom out, the more it starts to look like a pencil. And you know, there's obviously pressure sensitivity. The harder I press, you know, like the thicker the lead kind of thing. But you know, lighter pencils, they got mechanical pencils, which are pretty cool. Again, I would probably bring down the line weight on that. Rough pencil. Now you're actually getting pencil texture in there. So you know, once I start drawing in pencil here, that's starting to look a little bit more like a real pencil, I suppose, because there's some texture mixed into it. I'm assuming, yeah, this right here is more like your traditional pencil here, and you could always lighten it up. You know, like if I wanted to go like a gray, so it doesn't look like I'm drawing with charcoal or something crazy. Let's zoom out there and see what it looks like. That looks more like a pencil. That's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of the pencil tool in this one, as opposed to Manga Studio EX4 or just 4 in general. That brush to me, and I apologize, like I don't mean to sound rude or attack, but it was pretty trashy. It's pretty garbage. I prefer in Manga Studio 4 to just use the pen tool and maybe make it on a blue layer. You don't have to do that, but the pencil tool in this one's really cool. Pastel. Let's click into there. See what we got. We got some chalk. Again, getting some more texture and stuff. And the lighter I press, this is actually pretty sweet. This is actually starting to look... Oh, I saw charcoal up there. We're going to get into that. Let's try this pastel here. Some pretty cool effects you can get with this kind of stuff. A crayon. Love me some crayons. Charcoal. Let's check out the charcoal. So if you zoom in there, you can see the textured brush that it's doing. Yep, noise. Not sure what noise looks like, but that's what noise looks like. Probably some smoke or something. What do we got next? Now we're going to get into the big stuff. This here is probably what I hear. Well, not probably. This is what I'm hearing a lot of people saying, is that the coloring is phenomenal in Manga Studio. And it sounds like that's what they're trying to promote, is this drawing stuff. So, opacity watercolor. Let's change our color up here. Probably doesn't make too much sense to be drawn in black. I don't know. Let's do some reds. Red's a cool color. All right. Let's see what we got here. Right away, what this feels like. How do I word this? There's a couple artists that used to draw like this back in the day, And I think a lot of us are trying to mimic this kind of effect, where it's like you get this blended mode kind of coming in here. And the reason why it's getting light is because it's pulling in from this white here, because it's apparently watercolor, right? So it's pulling. If I press real hard, it's kind of, you know, got some cool effects going there, but then I can kind of blend her out a little bit. And there's got to be an opacity thing, brush size, amount of paint. See, so you can actually get in there and get pretty crazy with this stuff. Let's just pull in like another color. I don't know. Blue's probably going to look pretty good. It's probably too rich of a blue, but let's see what... Oh, that's why it's doing it. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So yeah, like you can really blend it in there, and you can see it's like mixing. It's actually mixing, which is pretty awesome. What else we got here? We've got transparent watercolor. Don't know what the difference between a transparent and opacity. A transparent. Okay, well, that makes sense. What else we got? Dense watercolor. All right, so the dense one here it's pretty crude. It's going in right away. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. I'm not going to go in with everything. With enough water. What is that? Oh, that's pretty cool. Literally like a brush. That's awesome. Emphasizing texture. Oh, like the texture of the canvas. Let me zoom in there so you can see it. That's pretty cool. Okay, and then you look up at the top here. We got oil paint. Who doesn't like oils? Again, you can play with all that stuff. Oil paint flat brush. Yeah, that's cool. You can start getting some texture in there. Brush strokes. So far right away, I'll tell you right now, the coloring is boss compared to like the last one. Night and day. Night and day. India ink. Bit husky. Love it. It's a bit husky. So as you can see, it's like leaving some random strokes. I will say, at least to me, colorists out there, you're going to have to actually give like a solid, definitive version of that. But it feels like still, this is stuff Photoshop can do. The blending options is really awesome. Again, I'm assuming Photoshop can do this kind of stuff. Let's just get in here this darker bleed. Ooh, look at that. You get some pretty cool textures with this stuff. Cool. I should say right now, because I just caught myself saying compared to Photoshop, all that stuff a lot of the time. What's really cool is the fact that I'm even referring to that is a huge deal, because you could get this for a fraction of the price of Photoshop, which is, you know, pretty great. I don't know what the price of the EX version is going to be. I'm going to assume probably around $500, maybe $300, like their Manga Studio 4. So for $500, you know, I know there'll probably be some extra tools being used for comics. One thing I did want to point out here that I forgot to, if you guys remember, or if anybody out there reads the Freddie Williams Guide to Digitally Drawing Comics, or if you guys draw from Photoshop, you know how you used to, let's just get some black on here. I would always say, like, the main reason why I didn't want to get into what's it called? Get into Manga Studio for my line art is because in Photoshop I can't make straight in Manga Studio I can't make straight lines. In Photoshop you could hold shift. In Manga Studio you can't. In Manga Studio 5 that was literally the first thing I pressed is shift. Watch what happens. So if you click there, look at this. I'm holding shift and you can see where your lines are actually going to go. So if I just click, bang, bang, bang. And this feature here is a huge deal, because like if you go in and you make small little strokes like this, I'm just trying to do this quick, you can basically make it look like a circle in that. But if you're drawing faces, that is huge. And you know, the more you zoom out, the cleaner it's going to look. But I know it seems like a small feature, but it is something that I definitely miss that's not in Manga Studio 4. But it's nice to know Manga Studio 5 has it too. Alright, I have no idea what we're drawing there. So let's keep going real quick. What else we got down here? What is this? A spray can. So we're going to get some airbrushing stuff. Airbrush. There we go. Okay, so we got some airbrush. I don't know too many people that still use airbrushing, but it's pretty cool. Oh, that's awesome. You can highlight with a color. That's real cool. Instead of dodging, it looks like you can just kind of kiss it. Get some color there. Some shadow. That's probably going to be like a burn. Yep. Tone scraping. Ugh. All right, got some Kirby dots there. Blurred spray. Alright, so we're getting some textures. I'm going to assume, again, I don't want to go into it too deep with you guys, but I'm going to assume you can make custom brushes in this as well. This looks like the special effects brush. Yep, you can look up all that. We got effect, which Manga Studio 4 had, where it was, let's see, a little bit of a lag here. Okay, now we got some hearts, some random hearts coming around. I don't know why you'd ever use this, but when you're getting into things like sparkles or stars, that stuff's pretty cool. Feathers. Let's take a look what feathers look like. It's pretty cool. If you look up here, we got cross-hatching brushes, which is a big deal. I know a lot of people don't like to do cross-hatching, so it's nice to be able to have something to kind of do it for you. Cloth. What is this? Okay. Yep, I've used stuff like this this right here, this chain kind of deal. Normally, you can just choose your colors, I'm assuming. But anyway, what do we got? We got ruled lines, natural stuff, artificial scenes. I don't know what the hell that is. Keep it. Oh, that's pretty cool. Caution, keep it. That's actually real slick. Stuff like this. This is things that I would see spending a little bit of time really looking into it, just to see how far you can push this kind of stuff. Looks like train tracks, but it's gate. Telephone poles. Seriously. This is real sweet. Look at that. Auto corrects it to make it straight. That's real slick. Barbed wire. Oh, it's real texture too, man. Now we're getting into some fun stuff here, guys. Again, this really isn't making comic stuff. What's rubble look like? Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll tell you right now. Let's say you. Oh, okay. We're gonna draw this up real quick. Let's say you've got, we're going to draw like a destroyed city, like Godzilla just walked through here and bang, all this stuff's all busted up. We're going to do some cheesy buildings. Put some buildings in the background. They're all destroyed. Where's our fill? Fill with black. Cool. So, whoops. So with this rubble button, or rubble brush, not button. Let's try it again. So with rubble, I mean, I could start just kind of, oops, let's try to get some black here. Why you no black? All right, well, I don't know, I'm not going to figure this out with you guys right now, but you could literally just start putting some rubble around. That's pretty cool. Change the size up. And they're actually, I didn't even notice that, but if you look at this, look at this, look at this. What? Zoom in there. Look at it. It's actually throwing in random shape. This right here is some crazy stuff, guys, because I know for a fact you've got to be able to do this stuff. Like, it's making like objects. Look at this, and it's randomly putting whatever objects I guess this brush has, and then it's rotating it randomly, and it's choosing which ones are randomly put in there. So the more you click, change the size, you can get some real crazy. That is awesome. That right there. That is cool, and I apologize. I'll have to assume Photoshop does this kind of stuff, but you want to talk about quickening your workflow? Damn. I'm not even gonna get into the rest of this. Patterns, flowers, vegetables, and stuff. Jeez. What is this? Cool erasers. What's down here? Color mixing, blur by fiber. I don't know. So you can start blurring stuff up. Fingertips. If you had a finger and you're just kind of smearing it. That's pretty awesome. What else we got down here? Gradations. Yep. Oh, here we go. Okay. See, I don't know if you guys can zoom in there if you can change the settings on that you're streaming at, but at the top here it says direct lines. So let's make a line, kind of like holding that shift key. Curve. It's going to be pretty much the same as one before. Continuous curves. Let's see what that's about. That's pretty awesome. That's real cool. Now we got up here what I was saying, frames. So let's see what frames does. Okay, so right there what it's doing, I'm going to assume, let's say, okay, we got one comic panel here, and it's making layers on the right hand side here. I don't know if you can see them. Alright, so I kind of take it back a bit. I guess you can totally make comic pages in the basic model here, because what it's doing is it's making a masking layer at the behind this these little things I made. So let me just see if I can click on here, just make sure I can draw inside. Yeah, like, okay, so I apologize. I apologize. I am wrong. So down here in this little frame button, you can make it. And then let's just click the ruler layer and see we got special rulers. So clearly I need to play around with this a little bit more. So we're making some figure ruler. Well, that's pretty sweet. So one of the awesome things about Manga Studio always was these rulers, right? So let's say you want to make a cool curve like that. Now, whenever I draw, it'll snap to that ruler. So watch, as I draw, whoops. Okay, we've got like a billion things going on over here. Let's turn all that off. Turn all that off. Where's my ruler layers? Show only when editing target, show and same, show. I don't know what that is. Alright, I don't know. Okay, let's see if it's like the old one. Basically, what I'm trying to do here. Oh, right. Okay, so it's inside there. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the ruler thing with you, but it's really awesome the fact that this comes with linear ruler, curve ruler, figure ruler, ruler, special ruler, guide. What I'm going to assume in the EX version of Manga Studio 4 anyway is you could actually set up 3-point, 2-point, 1-point, I think even up to maybe 5-point perspective. Don't quote me on that one. But this one looks like it's basic rulers. So it looks like they're giving you the basics to get everything done. Just this little walkthrough with you guys has changed my opinion on this big time. The fact that I can go in here and actually make a comic page, like, no, don't save. Here, I'll do another one. File new. Real quick, this will be the last thing we'll do. Let's say we're going to make a comic page. So we go down to, what was it? Frame. Now down here is what we want. We're going to change the size of the frame. It's actually showing you roughly. Brush tip shape. I'm going to assume, yeah, check this out. You can actually make different frames for your actual comic pages. So we'll say that's a frame. There you go. So you got over here, look, it's like that. You could rename it panel 1, panel 2, panel 3. We'll do some Capullo frames. And I just want to see something here. Let's say we'll have a panel. No comic should ever look like this, but we'll put a panel over top of a panel. So what it does right away is it's masking things instantly. And then inside each one, you could just go in there and start drawing. Probably be the exact same thing. Have like some under drawing underneath, and start knocking it out. Anyway, this is just a quick walk. I don't want to say walkthrough. A quick look. Let's just say a first look-ish into Manga Studio 5. Again, just to quickly recap. Personally, if I had to throw the money out there, now that I've gone through this stuff, now that I know it can do certain things like this, I guess I would purchase it. The big determining factor for me is I can kind of see the business model that they're going for. If you have old Manga Studios, you can update it, I think, for like $30, which is actually pretty sweet, at least at the time of this recording. Manga Studio 4, however, EX, they usually have sales, but you know, that software I'm using is awesome. The fact that I can color in this new one, that's a big deal too. And the thing that kind of holds me back is I need to know more if I was going to throw this kind of money away. What am I missing out on by not buying the EX version of 5? What does 5 have that's going to make me want to drop the extra money? Is it just the perspective rulers? Is it some other magical tech that they haven't shown just yet, you know? But if I had to say, you know, if money is an issue, and the price point for this software right here looks about right, I'd probably do it. But definitely check some other YouTube videos out from other users out there. I am definitely not the only guy talking about this right now. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go. Fantastic overall experience. My opinion definitely has changed. Thanks again to the guys and girls at Manga Studio for sending me the software, and for all of my friends out there on Twitter that tweeted them to hook me up with this awesome software. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next video. Keep reading comics, and you guys and girls, you better keep making comics, okay? So take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.